We've got an expert in the building here, everybody, to talk about how sports has such an impact on kids and our culture. Stay tuned for more, everybody. Giddy up. Welcome, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, Carter Rethwish, a.k.a. the Cardinal Cowboy. I get to talk to a lot of exciting, inspirational, motivational types. And when we start talking about sports, that's when I get really excited, because if it wasn't for sports, a lot of people know my story. I don't believe I would have come out of a coma, but baseball had given me such a strong drive to compete, and the rest is history, and proved a lot of doctors wrong. We've got an expert in the building here, MyKeia. I'm going to put her title up here for everybody so you can see it. Thomas. She's the director here at the St. Clair County Volleyball Club, building athletes, shaping leaders. She's got somebody here joining us too in the studio. You're my production assistant now. Is that okay? Yeah. All right, you can hear her. She's in the building. Well, as we get started here, we shout out to our community and our leaders. There she is, and those who are making a difference in our little planet right here. How are you? There we go. And Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle. We all have our own little domain, our own little place on this planet, and if we all have a little castle where we can learn to play sports and play volleyball, and we have little ones that we help to keep exciting.
Absolutely.
But, with that, let's talk a little bit about it. You've got a website. I'm gonna put this up this.
I do.
And a Facebook page, and we'll share with everybody what it is that MyKeia enjoys about. Tell me, what is it you like most about being a coach?
Yeah, so I really like the impact that I'm able to make in the community. I love the impact that I'm able to make in the lives of students and children that are in the area.
Here, let me have that. I gotta have that. Let me have it.
Yes.
Can we get you to come over there and sit over there?
Yes.
Okay. Watch out, you're connected to that cable there. So.
Go sit down.
But we also have little ones in the studio, and we have a lot of fun. We enjoy the youth that help.
All right.
Help us to develop. But as a mother, as somebody who's
as a mother who has now learned that I have been the asset that mothers need, I now see full experience from this side of the table, how much of an impact someone can make on your child. And I call myself a village mother. Before I ever had a daughter, I was always a mother figure to the girls that I coach, filling in gaps where necessary. Some of our girls, may or may not come from two-parent households, and just other disruptions that take place in life. And so I don't just coach, like I minister, I pray, and again, fill in whatever gaps are needed, food, things, just any type of resources I'm available for them.
Yeah, you might become part of, as a counselor, helping people to get through. I mean,
Absolutely.
Sports, I advocate, like I said, give so many skills that you don't gain. And I love my mom and drama. Drama was kind of an extracurricular, but sitting in the classroom was not my favorite thing to do. But when I got to play sports and compete, somebody at your level, you've coached college, high school, and now you've got your own club here. Club baseball's become a big thing. Club soccer's a big thing for the guys. Volleyball now is really taking off. Tell me why you think this is such a big impact you're having here.
Well, I think one of the things is now we have pro teams here in the U.S. That's been something we've been wanting for years. We actually had one of our volleyball players in East St. Louis go to Mizzou and play international. She was the first and only one. And so that dream seems so extreme and so far off, but it's taking off because it's become more and more popular. It's more televised. You see us all on ESPN. It's viral on social media, and girls are having like huge fans of, I want to play like this kid. I want to be like her. And then the schools are making it big, and we thank the schools for that acknowledgement.
Yeah, these days a lot of the press comes from the different organizations. Cal's Division I, Division II, NAIA. There's a lot of exposure you get from doing that, and it helps these kids to develop and then turn into something. What do you think some of the skills are that you really gain from playing sports that help people excel?
So outside of the court, you get confidence, right? One of the biggest things that I do when I have a confidence conference, it came from me starting the volleyball club and just noticing that confidence wasn't as high in young ladies as it needed to be. And you need confidence to do anything, especially when you become an adult. You know, you need to be sure of what you're going to be doing and where you're going to be going. And even if you don't have a complete sureness, at least the confidence to step out on it. And so one of the things that I say is I step out on faith and I land on promise. And I had to be confident to do that. And so I'm able to give that confidence to the girls. I'm able to give that confidence to them because my mother gave it to me. Something else you get aside from confidence is endurance. You get faith. You get friendship. You get community. You get camaraderie. Things you wouldn't get if you were just kind of going through day-to-day mundane type of things.
And a little bit of fun by helping our youth develop and turn into adults. Watch out! No, watch over. Don't run into our camera. Gotta come over here. But we very often have the opportunity to highlight the leaders that are making a difference on our little planet, and so often sports has been a great resource to help people to develop and turn into the adults that we all know that ultimately skills that you gain from being an athlete
Absolutely.
and playing competitive sports. And so overall, how long have you been doing this? 10 years with this particular business? How long
10
have you been
years
a
I've
coach?
owned the club, 20 years I've been coaching. I know everybody thinks I'm only 20 years old, so we'll just leave it at that. Think what you want. But we were having the best season of our life at the high school, and we went on strike. And it was one of the most devastating things that happened to me, but it was a blessing because I launched the club during the strike. The strike happened in October 2015, and I hadn't put out any press, any information. I didn't have a volleyball club name. I didn't have a bank account with money in it to start a business. That's the phrase where I came out with I stepped on faith and landed on promise. So I opened the doors, opened the gyms, and kids started flooding in.
Yeah, well, if you've got a great product and you're making an impact, it sounds like that's what you get to partake here and training, giving people those skills we talked about. What it is about this that fuels your passion about what you're being able to bring to the community here?
I love to be able to help young ladies. My mom became a single mom when I was like 5 or 6, and I never missed a beat. I didn't miss anything because I had godparents and village parents and people who were taking me to church and taking me to practice. There was always someone filling in the gaps. And that became a part of my passion and my purpose because I understood if those gaps were not filled, I would not have become the person I became today.
Yeah, well, there's so many people that they lack the guidance, the skills because they don't have those gaps filled. And so
Absolutely.
There's no one person or organization that can fill all those gaps, but it takes a team. It takes
a village. Absolutely.
There's a lot that you have to develop to bring everybody together. Tell me though, you've had some feedback from some of your past clients, guests,
Yes.
teammates, or kids
Yes.
playing on your team. Do you consider yourself a coach, a mentor? Tell me some of the feedback you're getting from your...
Definitely a coach and a mentor, but even more than that because I help them on the nutritional side as well. So I've had kids who've gone through my summer camps who are pre-diabetic and no medical claims that they've come out and they've no longer had those pre-diabetic claims on them.
Oh, wow.
Because I've taught them how to eat and how to work out because I don't want you to just play volleyball and this is all that you get. I want you to learn how to live outside of this. And so I don't just do volleyball. We learn how to eat properly. We learn how to work out properly, and they get those skills. So parents are always ranting and raving about how happy they are with the progress that's happening in their kids' life with mental clarity. Because when you exercise, you get more focus. How much happier they are. How much more they have become social. Because some kids will come to me and they're really introverted and they just have a hard time expressing themselves and connecting with people. And so I've gotten a lot of feedback about how much their child has been able to socialize normally.
Yeah, I'd say there's so much, like we talked about, that people gain by playing competitive sports because you're learning how to interact, how to win, how to lose, how to compete, how important practice is. And I took what I learned from if I took hundreds and hundreds of ground balls, then I got really good at fielding ground balls. What if I just took that same amount of time to build a Microsoft Exchange server
Absolutely.
in my house?
Absolutely.
And then it turned into the career path, and then you learn more and more skills, and you build that confidence that helps you develop as a human. That's what you're getting to help people do.
Yes, absolutely.
Why do you think that is so critical?
Well, today our kids are really faced with all of the things on social media that may not be as positive and impactful. And so they're much more distracted than we were as kids. And someone has to help kind of reel that stuff in and show them what's real and what's fake and be able to get them to navigate this new world that they're living in so they don't rely so much on the things that they are seeing and just start focusing on who they're becoming.
Yes, because so much of what we've gotten turned into a video game culture
Yes.
where we're looking at either a big monitor or now we've got our
Itty bitty monitors.
tablets, right? Right. These little phones. I got the foldable one here. There's a new one coming out. It's going to be a trifold, essentially carrying a tablet with you everywhere you go. But we get entrenched in these, and we forget to interact with other humans and build our skills to communicate.
Absolutely.
And be more involved with what it is that makes the world go around and engagement with other humans.
Yes.
How does volleyball specifically, do you think, help people to engage and learn?
So with volleyball, since it's a team sport, you have to talk to 5 other girls on the floor at all times. You also have to connect with all of your teammates and try to figure out how to put differences aside, how to work collaboratively, how to block out the noise. You know, parents are screaming and yelling and things of that nature, and you've got to learn how to, what the kids say, lock in. And so they learn that skill playing volleyball. They learn how to get less distracted, get more focused, be more intentional, and that takes a while. Like, I really encourage parents to start their kids when they're at least like 9 or 10, just getting into the gym, getting a few touches, YMCA, it doesn't have to be club, but getting that interaction is paramount early. My mom had me doing public speaking at 5 years old.
Really?
Like reciting poems at banquets at 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
Experience is, yes.
And being part of learning those kind of skills at that age really helps people to develop. I remember as a kid myself, I was so shy, believe it or not, everybody, and so timid. I would not engage or talk to people until somebody had approached me and don't speak until
You
spoken
spoken to? I remember that.
But literally, like, I was very shy. Then as I got older, I began to break out of my shell, and I think the sports had so much that helped me to communicate and understand. More than anything, I built my confidence because
Absolutely.
of the sports that I had played. Do you think you're helping people, kids, girls, develop the skills? That confidence is one of the most key things.
Yeah, confidence is key. I was thinking about a kid the other day and her inability to make quick decisions, and that gave me a reflection of, okay, we got to have a confidence talk. Because when you're confident, you're able to make decisions pretty quickly. Right. And when you're missing that, you're indecisive. And that's a confidence reflection of, I don't know if I should, I don't know if I could. And so there's some things that you're battling with internally that we have to work on.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, if you're indecisive for anything on this little planet, and especially if people can read the fact that you lack the confidence,
Absolutely.
that will cause many issues for somebody that's trying to figure out which direction to go and how they're going to proceed and what they can take on and what they can tackle and what they can accomplish. And if you're hesitating, that confidence is one of the most important characteristics for anybody in their development. Well, we've got lots more fun stuff we have to partake in the community. Before we get into that discussion, though, what is it that most fuels your passion for what you get to do here?
What fuels it the most is the joy that I see on the kids' faces. I love the parents. All right, I love my parents. I love their feedback and the reviews, but it's the immediate impact and the immediate satisfaction that I get from seeing a kid come back because she was restored at the last practice, or her faith was renewed in her skills, or she accomplished a skill that she'd been trying to do for maybe a month and she stayed at it and she finally got it. And I got to see the satisfaction of her enjoyment of connecting something, the dots somewhere, and things just kind of getting like an aha moment and happening. Because you see so much of the frustration side. You know, this is a skill-heavy sport. It's not something you just wake up and pick up a ball and you go. Like, there's a lot of intrinsic things with it. And so when you can get a kid to master a skill, there's no greater joy than seeing them happy that they've been able to attain that.
Well, great to see a lot of the impact you're having, and a little one you've got here that joins us on set. But having that impact and helping so many people in the community is what we're really looking for, more people to share and partake more of, to help other people engage what's going on our little planet here, to make this world a little bit better place. With that, we'll share some of the stuff we've got going on in the community and one of our visits down at Busch Stadium, everybody. So stay tuned here and check out what we got going on. Here we go.
So this is probably one of the most convenient parking areas for the Cardinals. We're going to say hi real quickly to our buddy over Paris. I'll wait till this car comes by. You can see the beautiful scenery behind us over here. How you doing? You guys want to be on camera? Say hi.
Hi, you remember us?
Yeah, well, holy cow, look who it is. Yeah, well, look, everybody. Oh, look, I thought I flipped it around there.
Gina's trivia.
That's right. Yeah,
I just sat next to him.
we did. We sat at the game together. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We see you guys at the Cardinal games. We see you at fun trivia fundraisers. Gina's doing great. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Let's go Cardinals. I'll see you in there. Tracy's up there waiting for us.
Okay, see you soon.
All right. And the interview you've all been waiting for. Yeah, you gotta hold
What
that
up,
up.
this-
The interview. My good buddy Paris.
How you doing?
Paris,
Cowboy,
one of the best running backs in the history of semi-pro minor league football.
Yes, sir.
Got some looks from some big teams.
Yes, sir.
Play a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of ball.
Oh yeah, I played every level you can think of in football.
There it is. What was your favorite team you played for?
My favorite team were high school.
Pro, everything.
Well, of course, high school was always NJROTC.
Okay.
In college, I went to DCC. That was Dodge City Community College. And then Kansas after that. And then I was on the Rams practice squad in the 90s.
There you go.
2000.
The Rams practice squad. Probably taking lessons from the Cardinal Cowboy and all my tackling skills.
Right. And then we met each other during the semi-pro thing. You know
Right.
what I'm
Is
saying?
that who's that? Fury,
The Fury
or the Wildcats,
the
or the
Wildcats
Cyclones?
and the Cyclones. Yeah. Well, you went against me when you went to the Cyclones.
Oh, I was going. Were you mad when I kicked that 53-yarder?
Nah, I wasn't. I was very excited for you, man. That was
See.
something that somebody hasn't witnessed in semi-pro, so that was a good thing for you as well. You know?
What was that again? So make sure everybody understood. What was that? What was it?
With the distance?
Yeah.
53.
53, everybody.
Yeah, 53
Nobody
yards.
saw that in semi-pro, you think?
Yeah, oh yeah.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like
The
no
Cowboy.
other.
Seems like
When
a
he
while.
makes his
Yeah,
rounds
it's
at almost
20
every
years,
home
2004.
game, he shares his
Oh,
love for
wow.
sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwish was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So in this world of media, check out our book here, Magnetize Media. Yours truly wrote the foreword, the introduction here. They said I wrote the first chapter, but it literally, like, if you're going to learn how to make it on this little planet, you need to get into this stuff. This is a bestseller already on Amazon, everybody, but media has changed the way the world functions and how we partake. You've got a website, you got social media. How do you use media? How do you use technology to do your job, to stay in front of people, to get the word out?
So I live in and I'm a content creator. So that's why I'm with the phone earlier. Like I'm always making videos. I'm doing motivational videos in the morning. I'm recording the girls in practice. We just did a content video that went viral on Facebook because they need to see like the actual interactions. Right now, people are not believers of what they hear. They're believers of what they see.
Right, yeah.
And they have to see it, so you have to show it. So you have to pull the cameras out. You got to get the mics out. You got to show the beginnings, the middles, the ends. You've got to show a kid struggling and the transition. And I've done all of that on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm a busy woman.
Well, yeah, I can tell you've got so much going on out there. But that keeps people busy, keeps them entertained, keeps them engaged, and the content will help people to be drawn to what you do.
Absolutely.
Tell me though what you're offering here with regard to this. What's the product isn't just sports; it's also
Correct.
development for kids and all that. What do people miss by not partaking in something like this? I can imagine the kids that stay at home and they're getting in trouble doing a video game thing.
Oh, yeah.
But here they get to interact with real people and engage.
Yes, so they miss family. Our club is very family oriented. Our parents, I've been blessed from the mesh really well. We have never had like drama and issues within fighting and cat fighting. Like we teach the girls how to be big sisters to the younger girls. It's paramount that they do that. We have the girls do community service. In fact, we've been doing an annual toy drive to the kids with cancer at Children's Hospital. And so before COVID, we had the girls doing Christmas caroling with seniors. So I would have them go into the living assisted homes because one day you're young, the next time you look up, you're old, right? And so you should be serving now because someone may have to serve you later. And that's something that we've been doing for at least 8 years.
Wow, yeah, just to give people this kind of a platform to develop the skills that they don't get anywhere else is really something that is dynamic and really very cool to see what you do. And somebody who's been, my parents made me go to those summer classes. You were not going to just sit around and terrorize the neighborhood.
You are not going
like
to
the
sit
rest of
around and eat up everything in the house and do nothing. That's
Yes.
right.
Well, why should somebody join your club? What is it you think you bring that really sets you apart that helps people understand what you're doing to contribute?
Yeah, so I'm very energy driven and I am very vocal on the court. And I know that the parents love the fact that when I'm on the sideline, when my coaches are on the sideline, we're cheering, we're clapping, we're redirecting, we're giving information, we're giving feedback, we're allowing the kids to breathe, to be, we're keeping them calm. I've had kids with different disabilities in our organization, and I work through that. I just don't feel like anyone should miss the opportunity to be able to play a sport because they don't have the same skills as another kid or the same abilities as another kid. I think anyone can get an opportunity to do something that gets them involved within the community. And we make that an option and we make it affordable.
Yeah, again, to get involved with something that allows them to be so hands-on, to get the kids out there, not sticking their head in a computer or a tablet.
All day.
But to partake and interact with other people really adds a lot to what we can help kids to develop. Tell me some about you've got all kinds of accolades and all kinds of certifications and all the different levels you've taught and coached.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So I've coached college ball with Lindenwood University in Belleville before they closed. We did that for 2 years. I've coached high school ball. I started high school ball in 2011, but I started volunteering in like 2006. And I was working at Bally's Total Fitness as a personal trainer. And my former head coach was like, get in here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I need you to train the girls. And that was my start. I walked in, I volunteered, I kicked their butts. One of the girls whose butts I used to kick, her daughter now plays for me.
Nice.
Because she knew that like that was one of the core things that I did. Not only that, I've coached middle school ball. Then I got an award from AVCA, which is the American Volleyball Coaches Association, for being a coach that's in diversity. Because funny as it may sound, men dominate volleyball.
Really?
There are more male coaches in girls or women's volleyball than there are actual women.
Interesting.
And so it's very few times that you will see a woman on the sideline when it's the national championship. And so when you see it, it's a big deal. Like last year, it was the first time ever that there were 2 women going head to head for the national championship. And so they really want to push that diversity of getting more women to show their faces in this sport as well. So I won that award in 2021.
Well, congratulations. That's what
Thank
we're talking
you.
about. And they should highlight some people like yourself. Tell me a time when you've obviously impacted a lot of lives here. Give me an example. Don't name names, of course, but where you helped somebody you could see they were struggling and you gave them a little guidance and pulled them through a little bit.
Yeah, so it takes me back to one of my high school kiddos. I found out throughout her journey she was a foster kid, and she had just been kind of struggling. And it's a very different situation to be in. And so sometimes as coaches, we just expect kids to come in hot. You're ready to practice and roll, but they're actually people and they're dealing with some things that you may not know or you may not understand. And God just gives me this ability to be able to see a person aside from how you look when everybody else sees you in the building. And I just could tell she was not herself. And when we got into the locker room, we had a conversation about what she was dealing with, and she asked me to pray for her. And I just never forgot that, and that's been at least over 10 years ago.
Wow. So the impact now, she's probably in her mid-20s.
She's in her mid-20s. I ran into her at the gym. She's working. She's doing amazing, and I'm so proud of her.
Well, there we go. That's what we talk about, having that kind of an impact. What would you say is a challenge you've personally gone through in your business and your growth, or something you've helped somebody else through where you knew that there was a challenge going on and they just needed somebody to encourage them or push them?
COVID was a challenge.
Yeah.
I didn't know if the business was going to sustain through COVID. You know, everybody's got the mask on. There was a mass exodus from Illinois athletes to Missouri because Missouri was open when Illinois wasn't. Oh, wow. And we just didn't know how many people were going to come back and if this was going to be sustainable. And then you had maybe some anxiety with the parents because they couldn't come in the gyms. Like they couldn't come in the games, or there was a limited amount. And so you had the separation anxiety going on. And we were just hoping to muster through that. Like if we can get through this, we can get through anything. So that really stood the test of time for me, to be able to get over that hump and hurdle of navigating how parents can still interact with their kids and how kids can not feel so distant from their parents and all the things that came with that. It was a really challenging season for us.
Interesting. Yeah, these days, going through all of that was very difficult, but again, we made it, and
we made it.
Become stronger thereof. But so much that we learned from those kinds of situations. Tell me, what is as a coach who's counseling kids, but you also how many times have to counsel the parents? Is that true? What is the biggest mistake that parents often make when they're involved with an organization? Do they try to coach too much? They think they know more than they do? What's the biggest mistake you've run into?
Yeah, parents trying to coach. Parents coaching from the sidelines, it really hinders their kids' ability to grow and make decisions when they are trying to help them with the decision. And it's like the coach is coaching, we're in the gym with them the most, so we see the nuances of their skills and we see their patterns of behavior, their decision-making patterns. And so the parent just sees the kid on the court and they're chomping at the bit, and it's like, you know, don't put any additional pressure on this kid. And I had a player of mine, she now coaches for me, so they're going to know who I'm talking about. But one day she was like, can you please tell my dad to just be quiet? Like, tell him to stop. And I went over there and I was like, hey, your kid said stop. And I had to advocate for her, you know, because parents can sometimes, they can be a lot when sports are going on.
Yeah, I've talked to some of the baseball coaches out there, and they talk about it. Just there's never any battle with the parents. They know the most, and they're going to get their kid out there, and their kid's better than they really are. And it becomes a battle with the kids, with the parents as much as it is with the kids. And you're just really trying to give these kids the skills.
Absolutely.
And something they can develop, because the odds of them making it to the professional level are very slim. But what they're going to learn to apply it towards life is so important. Is that true?
And that's way more important for me. Yeah. We want kids to go to college. We've sent several kids to college. We've got some stars right now that are playing. One of my girls, and I'm going to say her name, Jahira Williams, she just got 8th in the country in blocks. And she's been playing for me for a very long time. And so this is her second year in college. I'm extremely proud of her. If they just give us the chance, right? And so the parents who back off are the parents who give their kids the best service.
There you go, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show, highlighting the leaders in our community making a difference. Check it out. Giddy up.